Dave, game time?
Nick. Oh, wait. Nick, where's Nick? You're not Nick, you're Brad.
They called me up from the minor leagues.
You're my fitter. Well, Brad, I heard we're talking about the new Big Bertha line today. So I brought my Big Bertha, I brought my Warbird.
That was in your bag in the trunk,
Is this what
right?
we're hitting?
Yeah, the muted part just played with that thing yesterday, right?
The one you've got looks a little bit newer. So let's start with the driver. Why don't you talk to me about the new Big Bertha?
Yep, so Callaway's bringing the Big Bertha line back this year, B21, and they're just taking a lot of the technology that they had really in Maverick and their previous lines, and just trying to make it a little more, say, user-friendly package.
Okay.
So you're going to find a lot of the things that Callaway already does in this driver. So you've got the jailbreak, help you out with your ball speeds, help you hit it farther. Everyone likes that. Composite crown, save some weight, let them move it around a little bit more. But some of the cool things that I like about this one, and what I think will be really good, is it's actually designed for anybody that needs to get the ball into the air. It's got a special shaft to help you out with that. We can talk about that in a minute. But what I really like about this one is the center of gravity. If you can take a look at that guy. Center of gravity is about 4 or 5 millimeters in the heel, and I'm sure you're unaware of this one, but what that just does is anything hit in the center now acts like a toe shot, so the ball's going to want to draw a little bit more on you.
Yeah, I had to listen through Nick droning on about gear effect one time, and we talked about that, so I get it.
Now the MOI on this one, the forgiveness is a little bit lower than what you see for a lot of draw bias drivers. It's only around 4,600, but that's actually a good thing for these. For a draw bias club, you don't want the MOI to be too high, because then that CG being in the heel, you actually don't benefit from it. So having the MOI even a little bit lower than, say, your Maverick Max, it's actually helping you out in this one. But ready? Here's my favorite part. The face progression on this one, or the onset, you may not know, most drivers, the face actually sits in front of the shaft. Right. That encourages you to slice the ball.
Yeah.
With Maverick Max, it was around 15 millimeters, so that's a good thing. Big Bertha, it's only about 13 millimeters. So while the face is onset, it's actually the least onset of any driver that we've measured. So for anybody that slices, this is going to be an awesome option for them. If they still slice this one, they probably need to come see us for something different in clubs,
probably need lessons on it fitting. But yeah, I was holding that earlier. I haven't swung it yet, so I could definitely tell on this Warbird. I mean, I don't have the millimeters exact measurement because this thing's so old, but man, the shaft looks like it's way back to the face, and on that, it definitely looks like the face is behind the head, more like an iron, but we know that it's not. So
yeah, and it's part of just the design of drivers. It's really hard to make a driver where the shaft or the face actually sits back of the shaft. Almost nobody makes an actual offset driver anymore. Part of the reason just because it's ugly. But they've been able to take the benefits of having an offset club and incorporate it into a package that looks a little more conventional.
Yep. Well, let's. Can I swap? I'm tired of this old stuff in my hand. I want to check out the new stuff.
Hang this one above the mantle.
Yeah.
So let's talk shaft on that one's cool too. They actually went back to the RCH shaft. If you can go way back to late 90s probably.
Yeah, that was probably what's in that.
Callaway's proprietary shaft back then. And you can do all the different custom options with that also. But really with that shaft, its design is really light. It's about 45 grams. Typically lighter shafts are going to hit the ball higher. But they've also added a lot of extra weight down to the tip section. So the idea then being you're going to get a little bit of extra deflection, help you to launch that thing higher and higher. So they're doing really everything they can with that driver to help you launch the ball higher without spinning it too much. But it's definitely helping you to fight that rightward miss also. Yeah,
got it. Well, first impressions, definitely feels lightweight compared to what I play currently, but the shape of the head's awesome looking. I like how it, to my eye, looks more triangular, less rounded. It kind of makes you feel like there's more forgiveness because the head's drawn so back. At least that's my first take on it. Definitely can tell looking at this club that it's going to be for somebody who fades it or slices it. I'm gonna try to put a little fade on it. We'll see what happens.
Should we call 4 left right now?
I'm gonna try to put a fade on it. This will be my fade swing. And it's going left.
Little does everybody know that Dave's fades are
also draws. My fades normally go straight with about a 2-yard draw, and that one was definitely a lot more.
Yep. So and let's take a look. This will be interesting just to see the numbers on that one. So for a driver that really that's not what you would grab to play. It's 45 gram regular flex 10.5. Right. But even with that, the launch angle was 13, so that's really good.
Yeah.
But the spin stayed under control as well. Spin was only 2,600. So actually, maybe that is a driver for you.
I mean,
I may have fit you wrong all these years.
The viewers know that A, I give you a lot of props for my fits, and then B, I'll play anything that's free. So if I can get my hands on one of these and I can hit it in the fairway, that would work. Although I feel like if I put my normal swing, I'd be hitting some NASCAR shots with this that are just going left of left, right? So probably not the driver for me, but it did feel awesome on that one shot. Love the way it felt.
Yep, and like you mentioned, the sort of triangular shape to the head, so they have incorporated that where the rear skirt does come back from the face a little bit. That's one way that they help to make it more forgiving, help you to launch it higher.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look as bad as, there have been a number of different manufacturers that have done that in the past where the club head was literally a triangle,
yeah.
and it looks pretty bad. So they've been able to do the same benefits of that technology, but still making it a pretty traditional looking club overall, right?
Yeah. Well, I can tell by this one, so this isn't quite the right club for me. I tried to put my fade swing on, hit it long with a little bit of draw. So this is definitely a club that you're going to get distance any way you swing it. I can tell that.
Yep.
So how about let's keep going down the line. So I think we have Fairway Wood next.
Yeah, so we're going to roll into the Fairway Woods. They've done some cool things with this model. So now they've gone jailbreak as they have been a couple years now at the Fairway Woods.
Okay.
This one though, they've actually started changing the lengths a little bit. So as you can imagine, as clubs get longer, people start peppering it all over the face, right?
Yep.
So now they've made the 3-wood a little bit shorter, and they actually progressively change in length as well, just to make the length of the club a little more manageable. With the driver, when the ball's pegged on a tee, it can have a little bit of a level of forgiveness. Now the ball's on the ground, making sure you hit in the middle of the face is important. But here's what I like about this. They did not add any offset to the driver. They kind of had offset built in there just with the lack of the onset. There is actual offset now when it comes to the fairway wood.
Okay.
So we do see some offset. That just gives you that extra split second to get the club face closed. And then additionally on this, if you look at the bottom of the club, you see how much of the sole is really close to the ground.
Yeah.
So that's just going to help for shots that are low on the heel, low on the toe. It just makes those miss hits way more usable. So it's a similar design as the driver, or designed for a similar golfer. If you struggle with a slice, if you struggle getting the ball airborne, especially with like a 3-wood, I can honestly tell you I don't fit many people for 3-woods. That might change it up a little bit, only because they can't get them in the air. I don't think that'll be a problem with that one. So can't get it in the air, can't always slice it. It's definitely one you should try out.
Yeah, well, let's take this one for a ride. So again, impressions. Well, first off, just to let you know, when Nick and I do these things, he moves the foresight for me. We'll work on that for our next video together. But looking at this thing,
I see you've taught him well.
Looking at this thing, definitely a great club head look. Definitely offset. So normally this wouldn't be a club for me, but for anybody that struggles with ball fading or slicing, this is definitely going to be a club for them. Let's give it a rip, see how it sounds. This again will be my fade swing. We'll see how I do.
And same RCH shaft they have in the driver. That one's 10 grams heavier, so it's still pretty light.
I think I actually faded that one, by the way.
That one actually did fade.
I should probably hit one more just so the viewers at home know that this will go left. But
trust
trust me, this will go left. That was a fade swing.
Yep, so launched it at 15, spin was 5,000. Again, though, it's going to be a pretty usable shot, especially if you're trying to hit that into a, say, par 5 maybe.
Yeah.
Have a good chance of holding the green.
That was a little heeled. So that was actually way heeled. So that wasn't golf club. But
and that one's a little bit shorter. It's probably more custom to the length that you're probably used to, right?
I felt that. Yeah, it felt more kind of normal. Felt a lot shorter than the driver did. Felt very controllable. So.
And that's typically, I mean, whenever I'm fitting somebody, especially any of their woods, very rarely are we ever going standard length driver, especially. Yep. Fairway woods are going to be the same story. That one's going to be something that most people can either get fit for, or at least if they don't go through a fitting, which obviously they should, if they decide to skip that step, they can pull it off the rack and at least have a fighting chance anyway.
Got it. All right, well, let's keep going here. Let's keep going down the aisle.
All right, hybrids now. I don't know anybody that struggles to draw a hybrid, but I'm sure they're out there. If you struggle to draw a hybrid, they've got something for you. Now hybrids are offset. So jailbreak in the hybrid, they've added some offset just like with the driver. So now between having the additional offset as well as just the tendency of hybrids to tend to draw anyway. Yeah. I mean, this should be a club that is, again, I want to say impossible to slice. I know somebody out there will, but it's going to have a hard time for most people slicing that. So
yeah. Again, good head design, lots of offset. A touch upright too, or at least that's what it feels like to me. So I don't know if they've done that intentionally, or I know that my fit is normally about 2 degrees flat, so that could be just the club being standard, but that definitely feels like it's not going right. So that did not go right.
So that one is the straightest start line of anything you hit, and carbon left. Nice little fade by your standards.
Yeah, that's a Balzer fade.
Nice little fade draw.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be a common story that a lot of people are going to find, though. So anybody that does struggle, especially the long irons, I mean, again, probably 9 out of 10 golfers shouldn't have probably even a 4-iron in their bag anymore. Yeah. Especially if you're a golfer who slices, get rid of the long irons. Try something, like the B21 hybrids. between just the center of gravity location, hybrids like to draw, but then also that additional offset, gives you a really good chance to put a 4 hybrid or even a 3 hybrid for a lot of players back in the bag.
Got it. Well, the tech is great, but did you see that I hit that 273, by the way? I'll take that all day long out of a hybrid. So.
Well, I like that, 273, but also just the height of the shot. So not only can you hit it really far, but you can have a chance of actually hitting it into a green and having it land.
It'll flutter down and land like a drop cat.
Again, trying to talk to our average golfer out there. Most people probably can't hold a green with a 4-iron. This is going to help the cause. Ready for the last one?
One more.
So they've brought back Big Bertha and the B21 on this one, and you set it down, you're going to see a really thick top line and lots of offset. So you're probably catching on. There's a lot of offset in all of these, which is a good thing, just because that's who this club is designed for. So by having that additional offset, is going to keep reiterating, that additional offset is just how you combat that slice. Is that a little bit of extra time to close the face. But now, with the thicker sole, that's going to help you with some ground contact if you tend to fat it. It'll tend to at least make those shots more usable. Thicker top lines, just adding way more and more MOI, more and more forgiveness. And you can actually see on the back there, they've added these tungsten weights kind of back in the corner. You can start to see the little bar.
Yep.
It says tungsten.
I got it.
That's how you know it's in there. But that additional weight just helps you to hit the ball a little bit farther, especially on those off-center strikes.
Got it.
So the tungsten weight being low and back, that's going to do 2 things. It increases the MOI, makes it more forgiving, so the off-center shots are more usable. But just like the driver, low and back center of gravity helps you to hit it a little bit higher and tends to also reduce some spin. So you can hit high shots that will also carry very far. Now, what's cool about that one, a lot of different manufacturers, they've added or decreased the loft rather year over year.
Yeah.
They do that for a couple of reasons. It helps you hit the ball farther. But it also makes the ball flight come out a little bit lower or not peak crazy high.
Yep.
So if you had these high ball speeds that today's irons produce, but you had traditional lofts, you just hit moon balls like the clubs.
Yeah, lose some distance.
Yeah, they wouldn't be useful. But here's what I like about the B21 though. There are some golfers though, if you're a golfer that already hits the ball low, those strong lofts, they actually almost are detrimental because now you hit the ball lower, maybe it goes farther, maybe it doesn't, but now you can't hold a green. So while the B21s, the lofts are stronger than your traditional, say, blade, but they're not as strong as some of the other models that even Callaway or the other manufacturers have. So you can kind of get the best of both worlds. You can launch the ball high with high ball speeds, so now you can hit it far and high. So these are tailor-made for the player that slices, but same story. If you struggle to get the ball in the air, B21s are an awesome option for you.
Got it. Well, when I set this thing down, first word that comes to mind is confidence. So that with a club head that's that size, big top line, I feel like you can swing this any way you want. You're going to hit it pretty well. Mm-hmm. So lots of forgiveness here. Can definitely feel the club head, which I like. And that was hit a little behind it, but there you get a decent example of a mishit that ball goes out, draws, ends up on target. I mean, that's a great iron. So absolutely going to be a great iron for the player that
around
needs some
20
help.
degrees, 5,000 RPM of backspin. Hit one more. Let's not fat this one.
All I got left is TaylorMade balls. I'm afraid to hit a TaylorMade ball with a Callaway club.
Yeah.
Go back to here.
It is proven that Callaway balls work best with Callaway clubs.
I was just afraid the club would explode. That's not it.
No, that's okay. Let's take a look at it still, though. So those are the shots that are really worth taking a look at, though, because now we can see these off-center shots. While they are curving to the right,
yep.
I'd be interested to see just the change in the overall distance change. Really wasn't more than maybe 5 or 6 yards on that one.
I'll see if I can pay our producers to delete that shot. That was better.
So highest one yet.
That was hit well. That was hit middle of the face. That was clean.
So that'd be a good one to look at now where the trajectory is really high. Be curious to see just what the ball or the backspin comes out on that one. Backspin 6,500?
Yeah.
So not maybe a little bit high, but not a ton for a club that is designed to launch it high.
Right.
Many times the high launch features add spin. We're not really seeing that on this one.
Well, and I didn't lose any distance on that one compared to in fact, I probably hit it a touch further, carrying at 194.
Picked up almost 10 to 15 versus the one you hit a little bit on the heavy side.
Yeah. Well, the tagline was true. Distance any way you swing it, right? I think that's the second time I've said it, and it's true. I had some mishits with this, 1 or 2 of the other clubs, but whether you hit it solid, whether you hit it a little bit off, you're going to get a lot more benefit on all of your shots on something like this if you need that type of help. So if somebody wants to get a set of these, Brad, what should they do? Where should they go?
There's a place called GOLFTEC. I'm sure we could definitely help them out, especially anyone who slices, anyone who can't get in the air. You owe it to yourself to check out B21. No better place to do that than a GOLFTEC.
Yeah, don't go off the rack. Go get fit. Come see us. We'll help you out. B21, this is going to be the club for you if you need some help.